Because I'd conceived through fertility treatment, I almost felt guilty in complaining about the normal nags and stuff about being pregnant. And Heather allowed me to have an absolute whinge and said it was okay that if I felt uncomfortable or I got heartburn or I wasn't sleeping, and I was still all right to be that. And that was really lovely, because I almost felt guilty outside, thinking I should be really lucky that I was pregnant. But actually at times it makes you feel really quite unwell. But that hour of being here and just having time to switch off and be allowed to be not comfy was actually really lovely. And I think even though you don't think about kind of the birth bit of it until the absolute end, and I didn't want to think about the exit plan. If you asked Heather, she would say to you, I avoided that conversation at all costs, because we'd taken so long to get to that pregnancy point. I hadn't really thought about that bit. It was just about the being pregnant. And she kind of almost drip fed throughout each session. We are going to have to talk about the exit plan at some point. But there was no pressure in that. It was kind of just the odd little bit every now and again. We are going to think about getting baby out. But I still got to enjoy being pregnant and having the reflexology for the pregnancy. Sometimes I think there's almost a predisposition that you have to follow a certain path and process during pregnancy and birth. Well, our whole journey hadn't been typical, so birth was not going to be typical. And Heather allowed me to advocate for what I felt was right for me and my body, that you don't always get the chance to do without her service and her support. Heather would say that she'd done certain bits of reflexology. If I'd said to her at the beginning of the session, I was struggling very much with heartburn or my hips were really hurting, she would very much target that part of my foot to kind of relieve those symptoms for me. But that was also in addition to, if I said, for example, it was the heartburn or I was feeling sick, Heather would then say to me what else I could do at home, whether it was self-pressure points or eat something differently or eat at a different time of day or position myself in a different way. So it was almost like I had the immediate relief after the reflexology, but then I had stuff to crack on with at home, and combined it absolutely got me through the 9 months. I would absolutely 100% recommend anybody to come and see Heather, whether it be the infertility, the pregnancy or the combination of the two. If I can convince hubby to go through it again, we'll be back. But that's a long shot. But yeah, absolutely, I'd recommend anybody